So RFK, as you all I'm sure have noticed, has been leaning in more to going after Trump. This is what we've seen quite a bit recently. When they were both at the Libertarian Convention, and what did RFK do at the Libertarian Convention? He decided, I'm going to bring a whole bunch of rubber chickens, I'm going to hand them out, and on the rubber chickens, it's going to say, debate Bobby. Okay. I like that move. It's a high-quality troll. I enjoy that. Trump's also come after him, and he's fired back at Trump, and Trump's going with this argument of, actually, Biden's better than RFK. Biden's better. RFK is way, way further left than Joe Biden. Way further left. Trump literally doesn't care about the content of his attack. It's just like, I'm just going to throw everything against the wall and hope something fucking sticks. That's how Trump acts. But look, RFK is not taking it laying down. He's just not. And we all know he's gone after Biden a million times. Now he's also going after Trump pretty aggressively. So let me walk you through this. This is the equivalent of pressing the red button against Trump. Here's what RFK says. President Trump scammed American workers. Scammed. Damn, that's even harder on Trump than Biden is on Trump. He promised to bring back manufacturing, raise wages, fix trade deals, close the carried interest loophole, and help small farmers. But everything President Trump achieved were things the Republican machine wanted. We got a tax cut for Jeff Bezos, deregulation for special interests, and giveaways to agriculture conglomerates. So far, he's spitting hot fire, homie. That's all correct so far. We lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs under Trump, even though he pretends like he brought them back. President Trump let the Bush wing of the GOP run all of his agencies. His Interior Secretary was an oil and gas lobbyist. His Defense Secretary was a Raytheon lobbyist. His EPA Administrator was a coal lobbyist. His Health and Human Services Secretary was a pharmaceutical lobbyist. And his Labor Secretary was a lawyer for megacorporations. Damn. Look, so far, there's literally nothing you can object to. He's spitting. President Trump's supposed support for farmers, $28 billion, all went to big ag conglomerates. We had the worst rioting and looting this country had seen since the 60s under President Trump. He inflamed racial tensions and didn't keep us safe. Instead of using federal law enforcement to stop the rioting, Trump thought it was good optics to let Democratic-run cities burn. Okay, this is our first problem here. It sounds like what RFK is saying is he should have used the Insurrection Act, and he didn't. No, he definitely should not have used the Insurrection Act. His own generals were like, we don't deploy the U.S. military in our own fucking streets, you psychopath. That's full authoritarian nonsense. Seems like he wanted to do that. First mess up. President Trump bragged about arming Ukraine more than Obama did. That's true, he did do that. He also walked away unilaterally from the intermediate range nuclear missile treaty with Russia, true, destabilizing our relationship. He also exacerbated tensions between Ukraine and Russia that ultimately caused a war. That's actually true. That's actually true. Trump was actually really hawkish with Russia, even though the Democrats were trying to say he was like Putin's puppet. He was like axing pipelines that they were supposed to have, a pipeline deal they were supposed to have. He was sanctioning, so he's right. Trump appointed the worst neocons to the highest positions of power in his administration. John Bolton, H.R. McMaster, Robert O'Brien. Now Lindsey Graham is one of his top advisors and likely to be a Secretary of State. And he's right. Gina Haspel, Mike Pompeo, he was packed full of warmongering neocons. President Trump bombed Syria, killed an Iranian general, and failed to fulfill his promise of ending the war in Afghanistan. True. He set the timetable, but it had to be accepted by Biden. President Trump invented lockdowns. He shut down millions of small businesses and facilitated the greatest wealth transfer to billionaires in this country's history. Okay, so the first part of that, the lockdowns happened under Trump, but the lockdowns were led on a state level. So it wasn't like directly from him, so I think that part's a little misleading. The part about the greatest wealth transfer in history to billionaires from the working class, that's 100% accurate. President Trump did nothing to solve the opioid crisis. It got far worse under his tenure, while his appointees running Health and Human Services were in the pocket of Big Pharma. If you think a second Trump term would be any different, you are engaging in wishful thinking. Damn. I mean, look, most of that was good. That was mostly a solid, good attack against Trump. Here's the problem for RFK. The audience you've been cultivating for the past year or two, however long it's been, the audience you've been cultivating, they don't want to fucking hear this. Because they, all along, were pretty sympathetic to Trump. So, wow, there's a lot of lies in this. Did the Biden campaign write it for you? Where are the lies? If you're going to say that, point out the lies. Point out the untrue things. We just went through it line for line, and I broke it down for everybody. You can't just say that and be like, I'll just leave it at that. No, what are the fucking lies? Well, you mean is there things I don't want to hear that are in this? Okay. Not a good look. Know your audience. That's sort of a devastating comment. It's like, hey, asshole, you've been coding yourself as right-wing for the past year or two. We're here. You can't shit on Trump in front of us. You got 2% of the votes at the Libertarian Conference and aren't going to be on the ballot just about anywhere. What exactly is the point of doing this? That may end up being true. Look, I told you guys from the beginning, before anybody else was pointing it out, we were saying it on this show, it is nearly impossible to get on the ballot as an independent in 50 states. It's not going to fucking happen. Question is, how many is he going to get? It might end up being like 10 or something like that, right? Which is nothing. And this person's kind of pointing that out. You are starting to sound like a deranged liberal again. The neocon GOP hate Trump. Oh, please. Fucking fraudulent as fuck. They love him. How many times have we gone through his record on foreign policy? Increased drone strikes, 432%. Kept us in Iraq. Kept us in Afghanistan. Illegally assassinated Qasem Soleimani, the top Iranian commander. Tried to coup Venezuela. Ripped up the Iran agreement. Wants war with Mexico in his second term. Armed Saudi Arabia as they did a genocide. And led to October 7th by doing the Abraham Accords and moving the embassy to Jerusalem. The idea that the neocons hate him, fucking preposterous. The Soros-funded riots were not his fault. Trump did not invent the lockdowns. He left it up to the states. That part's true. Trump was trying to expose corruption in Ukraine. RFK Jr. continues to expose himself as a far-left candidate by regurgitating far-left talking points. Moreover, we've recently seen him promote abortion up until birth, the climate change hoax. The climate change hoax. More on that later, because we got some devastating new facts coming out that the apocalypse is here with climate change, man. An amnesty for illegals. RFK is just like Biden, except he's anti-vax. Not going to lie, this is some big talk for someone that won't even be on the ticket. So anyway, literally 100% of the things that we've pointed out here are people shitting on RFK for what he's doing. So look, I'm gonna hit you with the jujitsu move at the end here. Here's why I actually don't even like this. I like a lot of his tech. They're good. But broader meta picture here, here's why I don't like this. I pointed out to you before. You want RFK to continue to code himself as right-wing. Why? Because in that scenario, he's going to get more right-leaning voters. Also known as he's going to take more voters from Trump than he will from Biden, right? The more he now goes out there and codes himself as left-wing, the more voters he would take from Biden, thereby helping Trump, right? So even though he's annoying, you almost want him to code as more right-wing most of the time. To be fair to him, I think he's just taken the perspective that is more his perspective, which is he doesn't like Biden, he doesn't like Trump, he doesn't like either one. He's got his own weird flavor and variety of politics, and he wants to push that, so he's sort of going after both. Okay, fair enough. It's more authentic, it's more honest. But how he continues to code himself will be incredibly relevant for this election. Make no mistake about it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.